Welcome to AlphaCars Service Center. Today in the shop we have a very nice Mercedes CLS63 AMG. As we take a look at these awesome quad exhausts, this car sounds amazing with that M156 6.2 liter V8 that's in it. This is a 2007 model, so it is an earlier model of this engine, of this generation. And we can see we have the valve covers off right here. So I'm going to talk about this M156 engine, some of the common things to look for, and why this vehicle is in the shop today. This vehicle is very low mileage for the year. It just ticked over 60,000 miles. So there was just a couple concerns why it came in today. The customer was stating there was a coolant leak somewhere, also a slight oil leak as well. That oil leak happened to be those valve covers, which is why we have them off. And it gives us a chance to check out some of the other common things to keep an eye on as well, which I'll get into. The coolant leak, we did already diagnose that, and it ended up being the thermostat housing, so that is going to be replaced. And on our workbench over here, we have some brand new spark plugs to throw in as well. These are the originals, and then we have all 8 coil packs there. So let me get into a little bit some of the common things you really want to keep an eye on and look for with these engines. So I mentioned earlier this is an early version of this engine, being a 2007. So these actually, a very small percentage of them had this issue, but the head bolts can actually break, causing coolant and oil to mix and really causing a lot of damage if that goes unnoticed. So what happens is those head bolts, they start to corrode, the heads of them start to corrode, and they actually just snap. So if caught right after it happens, if the conditions are right, you can actually escape having damage caused if you immediately notice a drop in coolant or a couple different signs of that nature. So that is one good sign, but really it can be prevented altogether by just taking a look. If you don't have the updated ones, just monitoring their condition, and really it is a good idea just to replace them all with the updated ones if you're in there for, like, let's say a valve cover job. These engines, I believe after 2012, do have an updated bolt that don't have that issue anymore. So we will be checking those and providing an estimate to the customer if they want to have that preventative maintenance done and have those head bolts replaced. Another thing to look out for on these are the camshaft wear on the lobes. So if we look, there's just a little bit of wear starting on this intake camshaft. If you look at the end of my finger there, you can see the discoloration in the camshaft. So usually on these, both intake camshafts, which are the kind of upper one here, this one and this one, the intake camshafts, usually those have wear before the exhaust camshafts on these engines. They exhibit wear earlier. So if we look at the exhaust camshaft, the lobes actually look very nice. And then if we shift right over to the intake camshaft, we can see that wear starting there. And same thing on this bank. We can see the little bit of wear there. And then while the exhaust side actually looks very clean. So at this point, we're really going to recommend to just monitor it. The car only having 60,000 miles, and with how clean it is under these valve covers, we can tell it seems like it's had regular oil changes, had a good service history. So like I said, at this point, it's just good to know what condition they're in, because if these wear bad enough, if they go unnoticed, they can actually wear right through the hydraulic lifter below and cause a ton of damage. And they will start making noise as well. Before that happens, you'll get a lot of lifter tick and tapping and clicking from the top end of the engine, especially on a cold start. So that's also a telltale sign to check out the condition of them if you start hearing that. But usually what I've seen online from some reputable sources are people say around 100,000 miles is usually a good threshold to at least check them and then replace the camshafts if necessary, if you see some extreme wear. But the wear will be quite ridiculous. This kind of point right here of the lobe, that will round off a lot. So really some extreme wear will happen. So like I said, these camshafts, looking good for the age, kind of as you would expect with the mileage, and really just recommend monitoring from here. So that's all I have for you today in this quick little informative video. Really is overall a good engine, very reliable. This produces, I believe, a little over 500 horsepower in this vehicle, in this application, I believe 507. And this M156, I believe it is also the first AMG engine that AMG fully designed in-house. They didn't use like a pre-existing Mercedes engine and kind of modified it from there. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the first engine they just fully designed from the ground up. And it was designed as a racing engine, I believe as well. I know the M159 is still used today in their AMG race cars, and the M159, I believe, is a slightly modified version of this M156. So, like I said, I hope you learned something new today. I hope you now know what to look for on your Mercedes M156 engine. Please give us a call, 978-263-9000. If you'd like peace of mind with your European vehicle, these are the types of vehicles we specialize in. So you can also send us an email, service@alphacars.com. Give us your vehicle info, any concerns you have, and we can give you a free quote of you getting that vehicle in here to us. So this has been Ian reporting from our Boxborough Service Center. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe so then you don't miss out on the latest motoring content.